noobs and say, oh, wow, why aren't they competing in the way that we thought they were going to, blah, blah, blah. I mean, we've said this the entire broadcast. It just takes one good map out of them to get started. But again, we're on the last 2 maps. It doesn't matter. We're in game number 4, drop number 4, folks. I know you've been waiting a long time. We're finally back on into it. We're starting out with Diazbiffle, the last winning team here for map number 4.
Where a lot of people are going to be fucked because
I really love that narrative being pushed too. It's like, you know, from Shotzi's perspective, right? It's like, hey, you're a Warzone pro. Hold my apple juice. I'm a Call of Duty pro itself too. He's just been gunning everybody across so many different titles. It's a terrifying X Factor. Rookie of the year, by the way, through Modern Warfare, and champion at that.
Almost MVP again this year too. Like,
for the love of God, I mean, this dude is just so talented, just so twisted on the map through, again, multiple titles. Now is putting themselves in a position to where they could walk away with $60,000 in their back pocket to split between them, Fellow, and Pieman. And well, speaking of Fellow, going in towards this 4th drop, they are our current Headhunter Challenge leader with a total of 13 eliminations on the day. Right behind them is Clutch Balcon and Rational, tying at 12. Not too far behind them as well is Dillster at 11. And then to round out 5th place will be Breadman and Finesse and tied at 10.
Already in the Googe. Huskerrs with a 1-on-1 versus Mbos. One old man versus a younger lad. Around the corner. Jump shots are going to be there. 4 HP left on Bows. Now it's going to be the Huskerrs who can get oh so aggressive in towards the mid. And I'm just so glad to see the old Gulag back. I know we haven't really talked too much about the old Gulag being back in its newly, I guess, reinstated form, whatever the changes may be. But it's still basically the exact same thing as we saw at the very beginning of Warzone's inception. And it's just so nice to have it back. It's so nice to be able to see that old Gulag. And it provides us with so many good outlooks. And specifically Huskerrs with a nice little dub there against Mbos. That's going to put them out early. And the team that's already in 20th place at the bottom, unfortunately, loses a member already.
Yeah, it's like a refurbished Gulag, but someone's going to have to make a YouTube video with a microscope lens as to where it's refurbished, because it's still dirty. There's still broken tiles. There are bullet shells all over the place. I'm not going to take a shower down there. It's gross. As we take a look on board here, this is Team Tommy. I'm playing with Noobs and Almond. They are just sitting out of 5th place, a total of 27.5 points. I'd like to have a very strong game here to propel their way forward in towards the top 3 running. Big Bertha, Helicopter. I also have information from this bounty that Rated is not too far. Rated, of course, playing with Mayapo and Otter. Not exactly a gunfight that you want to take. Their main objective, of course, not only to secure themselves the loadout, is to get the hell out of here because they got to get to the safe zone.
That's nice. You've already got a loadout to work with for yourselves. First zone closing in, 240 left until we get to that inner circle. Long way to go, but the Bertha is going to help, as you said beforehand. The bounty over towards the left side. You really make the decision. Do you want to go ahead and turn your way over to go ahead towards that bounty, get those first initial kills? You'd like to say yes, but you also want to get to the zone because there's a lot of open area that you have to go ahead and get through if you want to get to the next zone really uncontested. Helicopter to use, though. The Bertha coming from behind. You've got a lot of utility now, but here they come. They're going to try and go ahead and basically make a front line of assault that they're going to have to be able to push through if you're trying to get out, if you're the ones with the bounty. And this should, and I say should because it's never going to be necessarily guaranteed, but should be able to get them at least 2 to 3 kills.
Last guy below you.
Yeah, and they know that they're rotating in from the gas too. There's Almond. We'll get the entire cleanup.
I'm gone.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Potential some loot to come along the way too. Almond does have themselves a vehicle too, and there's another player. Unfortunate to say they're trapped inside that very tight building. Tommy will drop them very quickly. It's going to be Mayapo, so all of Team Rated fully wiped away off the map here and drop number 4. And they still have a lot to rotate through. All of the airfield, all of this open land area across that bridge, plus the mountains, and I hear that these hills have eyes.
They do. They've also got snipers.
Wait, can I get you?
That's the second thing you have to be worried about as well, but we take a look at Doozy, Booyah, and Biffle. On the ground is going to be Booyah. Has a self-revive to work with. So as you start to work back over towards this player, might be able to get the res off, but it's going to go ahead. Teammate going to go over to help out. Doozy's going to be the first one to go. So right now, they're just kind of in the crevice of Dam, and this is what I was talking about beforehand. You never know exactly where the zone is going to land up. Last couple of times, we've been down towards downtown. This time, though, we're going over towards the north right portion of the map. And it's going to be difficult for really everybody to be able to get into the zone if you haven't gotten here already. But look at the high ground that Aydan and the co have also been able to get all the way up towards the top of the dam. You're basically just sitting ducks down on the bottom of the crevice, trying to work your way up to any sort of semblance of information or rather high ground that you can possibly get yourself.
Not this rotation, but sometime soon. They're going to have to be forced their way into our current leaders, Shotzi and co. And off of a stellar game number 2, they had taken the high road to the situation, got themselves the loadout, got themselves towards the this top part of the area, a lot of the upcoming zone, McCord Meal, is out of bounds. So this is going to force a lot of teams into tough situations. One of those teams will be Team Swag. Swag's going to be the last left alive. Well, Booyah actually still has the Gulag available. So if you're Swag right now, you're going to just try to keep your life, but traversing through the open fields that basically looks like high roll on a very terrible day. It's not exactly where you want to be. Here it comes. Gulag is closed. Otter will get the final blow onto Swag. We'll see you later.
Oh, and that's so unfortunate, too, because as he falls right there, unfortunately, he isn't going to be able to get the Gulag that he might have been able to have been afforded, and that could have potentially been an extra kill for him as well. So it goes down directly as the Gulag closes. Gotta feel bad. Feels bad, man, after that one, but proper. You now look, 37 players left. They still have one teammate potentially to be able to get up, but I mean, just trying to get back onto the map, get enough cash to get their teammates up, and with the amount of limited buy zones that there's going to be able to have, I mean, you're basically looking at a 1 versus 34 if you really want to be able to come back, and that also depends on them being able to win that Gulag as well.
So we know on Rational, Aydan, they are still alive with Scummin. Team Shotzi, just Fellow and Pieman, coexisting just parallel to where Aydan is located at. And then Tommy Noobs and Almond, I believe, made it over here as well. Still a very healthy lobby. And this is what I was talking about earlier, Alex. Once we get into drop number 4 and 5, is where things are going to start getting really sweaty. A lot of snipers, a lot of respect across the entirety of the land. You got to get inside this upcoming zone and be able to read where it's going to next.
Slow, sweaty, methodical for all of these teams. You don't want to lose a life now. If there's any time throughout the first couple of maps where you didn't want to get anybody off the board, it's the most important time. And now Fellow and Co, they've got a beautiful spot over towards the right portion. They know that they're trying to get over towards the zone. And this is where they can really start to peek over towards the top of these buildings, because now, with the information, you get one pick here, you get one good headshot, you can start to push those players out, maybe get a full team wipe, get yourself even more points on the board for yourselves because you're already in the lead. And then if you can start staying alive a little bit longer, you can get all the way down to the end and maybe get yourself a win.
Your whole team, come here. In the ravine below us, I got one.
Tyler, yeah, sees it all happening, has one more shot with their Car 98, is going to take it. They're going to be able to get the full elimination onto one. They're going to leave one more player just left on their lonesome, just trying to share whatever they possibly can. 3 bullets over to you from Shotzi. Use them the best of your ability, but that one elimination right there is still big within its own self. Any eliminations that are found along the way, any point value that Team Shotzi finds, and that pops up in the kill feed, you're going to be upset if you read that in your Bobby or Huskerrs.
Yep. As you look down all the way down towards the bottom of the ravine, still a few teams, still a few players, all just trying to find themselves around the map, mainly Huskerrs, Destroy, and Z-Laner. They're trying to push over towards the dam. They really don't have the opportunity to get all the way around over towards the left side of the zone and then get up towards the top of the road. So they're going to be stuck between not only just this ravine, but Shotzi, Fellow, and Co. up and towards the top of the buildings, because they're unaware that Shotzi, Fellow, were just able to get that first pick down in towards the actual little crevice itself in this ravine. If they're not careful, they could be finding their demise right here. Remember, this is one of those teams that's in the top 3 right now. You can see, or rather, I mean, it's going to be hard for them to get up, not only to the top, but to start resurrecting themselves in the point standings, specifically not even being able to get up this actual mountain.
So I've yet to see a lot of consistency as far as rings are concerned in Warzone, but this one I've seen played out a handful of times. You can LOS a lot of these different buildings if you are Huskerrs, Destroy, and Z-Laner. They need a big game here to be able to get themselves a handful of eliminations. Don't go out where they did the previous game. A big drop number 4 would be able to propel them into first place as well. As you take a look at that leaderboard ticker on the left side, sharing second place with Team Bobby Poff. As you take a look at board on with T2P and Karma, or as they're better known in game, Bobby Lee Schwager. Here he's nuts. We'll see him in the challengers here. That's Cap. But still,
you wish.
I do wish. I would love to be able to see Karma rip it up through challengers, but it's not going to happen. I mean, he's just having a whale of a time playing a whole bunch of different games on stream. But this rotation is going to be a tough one.
Yep.
For Team Scump & Co.
Gonna get some more ammo now, though. At least they have some sort of high ground, comparatively to some of the other teams that are still trying to push through this angle. So laying down on the staircase, trying to find a couple of players. But, I mean, look right now on screen. Look at Dashy. 8 kills. You multiply him just by the 2, that's already 16 points here for this roster. So Dashy not only making his bid for a game win here, for a map win, and a bunch of points to try and get them into first, but he's also making his way up the board in the eliminations race.
That's actually so true. Depending on where they were at previously, I mean, they weren't within the top 12. If that gives you any distinction to how impactful this 8 elimination game will be for Bruce. Clay pigeon from the sky. Won't be able to lock down the elimination, thinking that there might be some more to come down from the top of that bridge. And where the zone is starting to be pulled towards as well, I go back just to think about just how trapped some of Huskerrs and co truly are down there. But this is the pull that they were mostly looking at. They're trying to negate as much high ground as possible. But you can see the rotation to try to get back down underneath this bridge for one of these pillars will be tough. Shotzzy missing just a bit outside with the sniper shot. But it's information regardless.
Information. 8 teams left, 19 players. Every team left alive here has guaranteed themselves at least 1.5 times the point value of the kills that they've gotten for themselves. That's only going to start to exponentiate here a little bit as we get a little bit closer every circle to one another. 30 seconds left in zone 3 before it's going to be all the way in. Now you look all the way around. You try to see the last couple of players making their way in towards the zone, but over towards the top of the satellite. I mean, this could be a nice spot over by Summit. But it's just going to be difficult, too, at the same time, though, because if you even peek your head up, you got everybody looking at you.
Yeah, you look at what they're covered with as a whole satellite. Finessing down here with Dilster and Bobby Poff. And tied for second place with Huskerrs, Z-Laner, and Destroy. Have all of this one truck to play with as far as cover is concerned. I was about to say, it's so quiet in here, you can almost hear a pin drop, but someone's going to have to go ahead and shoot a javelin into the air and break up that noise suppression.
Can they flank us with a gas
Some
mask?
communication also coming through, too. This rotation in about 35 seconds, they're going to have to take a gunfight to be able to do this, but this is where you're licking your lips if you are Team Huskerrs. They're still alive down there. A lot of players are going to have to drop from this high ground, and that's going to be Clay Pigeons. Just easy shots should be eliminations coming through for Huskerrs, but Shotzzy not letting this team breathe, but there was another player from the adjacent side that will get a knock onto Pieman. Fellow will return fire. He'll find 8, and that's a full team wipe onto them as well. And Pieman should be able to get themselves in a safe position to get revived. Yeah, it looks to be Shotzi's main objective. Yeah, they're going to go ahead and lay prone, get that back up. Cluster strike missing just a bit outside, but the zone is coming in. And we got no gas masks. We got to go.
No gas masks, but snipers, SMGs. Shotzi's going to be able to spot one, going to be able to get the shots over the top. Beautiful, and the down. Looks for the second one as well. Oh, can't get the heady, and it's going to be Dill that takes out the player. So now it's down to the last couple of teammates to make these pushes. You look at Bobby Poff, Dill, finessing on the bridge. They're going to be able to make some headway over towards the left portion. Inside of the zone right now, they get a couple of players on the bridge. Eliminations are going to be there. 2 kills for Bobby as he looks back over towards the middle. Down in towards the crevice. 10 players left. 4 full teams remaining. You're down to your top 4 squads, almost the top 3. 9 players now left alive.
They gotta be communicating this too. I mean, again, if Huskerrs team is still alive, they will be that team that is right below them. I don't think anybody else dropped, so it's gotta be Huskerrs team. And yeah, this zone pull, this is gonna be a tough one, especially for Huskerrs team or whoever is down here. It's a long shot. The Big Bertha did not last for too much longer. Not versus the LMG in the hands of the Scarf Lord. Bobby Poff finds Elim number 3.
Dill, Bobby, both playing a nice game right now. I believe they got about 6 kills in total together. Still looking down below. They've got a lot of ammo to work with. A large magazine to go ahead and lay cover fire down from the top of the portion. You're going to be able to get the long shot to down and the team wipe as well. Now we're down to our top 2. It's going to be a 3 versus 2 now, down to the very last portion of the zone. They're going to drop out of the sky. A bit of a ballsy call here, specifically when you got to go ahead and get these last couple of players, but you're going to drop onto the platform. Shots from the top, going to be able to get it. Oh, it's absolutely turned on. Now it should be about a 1 versus 2 here, down to the very end, all the way from the top, trying to find the shots with the sniper. Bobby's got to be hitting himself in the back of the head after that one.
And now Finesse and Dill, they gotta try to skydive from the top. Who is it down here? It's Huskerrs, Z-Laner, and Destroy. It didn't look like the win condition spot, not by a stretch of the imagination being on the low ground, as Destroy is just slowly working their way inside the gas. Gas mask will now fully break here with Z-Laner. Just trying to find where these last 2 players are located at here in this 2v2 up top. There's the turn will burn Bobby. We're just a little bit in a time travel position. And here comes Dill, and soon to follow the unfortunate news of the mistake that you are now a Clay Pigeon. There's the first knock from Destroy. Z-Laner will ping the last one. It is inevitable. The win condition spot was sought out for Huskerrs, Z-Laner, and Destroy. The last elimination will come through. And drop number 4 will go to Destroy, Z-Laner, and Huskerrs, the pop-off.
Oh my god, we switched to Destroy's POV last second. And not only do you see the drop down, but more importantly, the turn on to Bobby Poff that could have been costly there at the end of the game. You see, he's hyped. The rest of the team's hyped now. And that's going to be big, because guess what now, Proper? That third place team just went big. They got the win, and they got a ton of kills to go along with it. Holy, that was crazy.
Yeah, and again, you know, that's a lot of blind trust, right? When it comes down to Huskerrs, Destroy, and Z-Laner. When you're thinking about where that zone's going to be pulling towards, this goes back to the conversation point I was talking about at like gas pull number 4 or so. Which is like, if it pulls in this direction, Huskerrs and co, they're going to be screwed. But it doesn't pull towards the high ground. It actually pulls into a position to where they can continuously LOS players from those top damn buildings that then had to drop down.